With the novel Emma, the author wanted to write, for the first time, something different. Jane Austen herself said, "I'm going to take a heroine whom no one but myself will much like." Our main character does not fit with the usual romantic heroines we are used to read in the most famous novels written by Miss Austen. Born in the Hampshire in December 1775, Jane Austen is one of the most famous English writers all over the world. She came from a very large family. Since she was a young girl, she had the chance to study. She loved literature and languages. We cannot set a specific date in which she started to write, but there are many notes of a very young Jane. Very soon, she stands out for her acute observational skills, and due to them, she is able to understand other people's feelings and then elaborate those personalities that make her character unique. Even though she did not have a lot of success during her short life, today Jane Austen is considered to be one of the most influential writers of all times. She's one of the first writers to give space to women's will. Her most famous heroines end up marrying their loved ones, not because of economic and social reasons or because someone said so, but simply because they decided to. Her books still sell millions of copies. Her words get straight to the reader who feels understood. Many authors are inspired by her. Literature owns her genius a lot. She was probably born in the wrong century. The main character of the novel, Emma, is a young woman from the English middle class. She lives with her father and she's perfectly aware of the fact that she doesn't need to marry as she can very well take care of herself. She decides to focus on other people's happiness and to organize arranged marriages. She lives of prejudice and would like to impose her will to anyone who is around her. She's very clever but spoiled, snob and superficial, and it seems that nobody is able to make her realize it. She doesn't think about marriage and family. She's going to be a rich spinster, so she's going to be happy. Emma will go through a series of ups and downs that will lead her to fall in love. The novel ends with an happy ending, as usual for Miss Austen, where we can see Emma marrying her true love. Emma is the first main character from a novel written by Jane Austen that does not come from a family with economic problems and doesn't need to marry to lead a respectable life. She is not even looking for love just for the sake of being in love, as she was raised with the idea according to which marriage is a union just at social and economic level. As a matter of fact, she doesn't understand the connection between her friend Harriet and Mr. Martin. Emma is happy with her life, but she's more than bored. Besides music and painting, she has a very few incentives, and this is mainly why she decides to organize marriages, something that breaks her routine as a young woman. In 1995, one of the many movie adaptations of the novel Emma is produced. Amy Heckerling writes and directs Clueless, presenting a modern adaptation of the story. Instead of being set in Highbury, the movie takes place in a Californian high school from the 90s. A very young Alicia Silverstone plays Cher, our modern Emma Woodhouse. She's the prettiest and most popular girl in her high school. She's superficial and spoiled. She always wants to have it in her own way, even when it comes to her grades. Cher starts to set her teachers and friends up, saying that she's not interested in falling in love. The only thing she loves is fashion. Only at the end of the movie she will find real love. If the message offered by Heckerling is exactly the same as the original novel, everything else changes. From the characters to their locations, from the girl's dream to their passions. As a matter of fact, Amy Heckerling produced an amazing adaptation of the novel. It underlines how some kinds of personalities and events are always green. as it was possible to find a snob and spoiled girl in the 18th century reality at the same way we can find it in the 21st century.
Okay, like right now, for example, the Haitians need to come to America. But some people are all, what about the strain on our resources? And it's like, when I had this garden party for my father's birthday, right? People came that did not RSVP. So I was totally bugging. I had to haul ass to the kitchen, squish in extra place settings, and people were on mismatched chairs and all. But by the end of the day, it was the more the merrier. And so if the government could just get to the kitchen, rearrange some things, we could certainly party with the Haitians.
In some ways, the movie is loyal to the original novel, but obviously some elements, due to the different locations, have been changed, but it doesn't damage the story at all. Besides the ages, the adaptation is different from the novel, first of all because, while the letter is set in the country just outside London, the movie is set in the city of Los Angeles. The character of Mr. Woodhouse is a sweet, hypochondriac and amenable father. On the contrary, Mr. Horowitz could not have a more different personality. As a civil lawyer, he gets paid $500 per hour to fight with people. He's always hungry, but his heart melts in front of Cher, that always has it in her own way. The young's character is based on the character of Isabella, Emma's sister. In the movie, she plays Cher's best friend. The two share popularity and their passion for fashion. As a matter of fact, the one Cher talks to is Dion, while Emma, even though she has a great relationship with Isabella, finds it easier to talk to Mrs. Weston, as the two live closer. George Knightley, Emma's future husband, is a friend of the Woodhouse and brother of Isabella's husband. In Clueless, the character based on him, Josh Lucas, is the son of one of the former wives of Cher's father. While Harriet, Emma's new friend, is weak, amenable, and without even realize it lets Emma change her and guides her to better opportunities, Tay accepts the offer made by Cher. She would have helped her get a better look and would have made her a popular girl. The character of Frank Churchill is found out to be engaged, while Christian, character based on him, is gay. Overall, Emma tries not to explicitly say what she thinks, but she makes people around her understand it, so that they will eventually say that she's right. On the other hand, Cher is very direct and knows exactly what she wants, and she's not afraid to say it. We already talked about Cher and Leon's love for fashion. She owns a closet full of mini dresses, skirts, accessories, and a computer that helps her find the perfect outfit in a short time. It can be compared to all the activities that Emma does as a young woman, such as music, painting, and dance. The way a person dresses says a lot about the person itself, and the movie plays without any doubt on this. Every character is unique due to his or her style, even though sometimes it is somehow disguised. This is why, during Thai transformation, her clothes are a very important element that make her change permanent. It is interesting how during the 18th century, as soon as a girl was 17, everything she aspired to was marriage and family, things for which Emma wanted to appear different. Harriet is waiting for a gentleman to ask her to marry her, as she grew up with the idea that, to be satisfied, she has to marry someone, whether it is for love or for convenience. In the 90s, instead, a 16-year-old girl simply wants to date the guy she likes. Not even a word is said on marriage or things like that. A young woman has still some time to decide what to do with her youth. And if in the actions of two equal in age living in two different centuries we can see the innocence and the simplicity due to their age, it is the century they live in that determines the differences in the two personalities. As a matter of fact, the time and the place in which we live define us more than any other element.